What up, Wild fans? MinnyIce Postcast coming at you after a 2-1 loss to the Los Angeles Kings. And Jake, I don't know about you, but I got super comfortable and was ready to take a nap until the last 2 minutes of the game when the Wild were like, "Oh, we're trailing. Okay, I guess we better fire some shots in the net." My biggest issue with this is like, so you have shown you're capable of doing that
Mm-hmm.
and sustaining that sort of pressure and actually getting shots in the net in the last 2 minutes. What's going on the rest of the game?
It's got to be a Minnesota thing, right? You could say the same thing for the Vikings and garbage time Kirk and all that, the Wild have always been like that. For whatever reason, they need their backs against the wall to go out there and perform. I don't really know if it's something that's like outer bodily force or like from another planet that is just exclusively around the state of Minnesota, but it's something that isn't normal. Like there's something wrong because this team, once again, the first period just seems to get worse and worse and worse. It's like, you feel bad for a guy like Dean Evison because it's like, what do you put together with this puzzle that doesn't fit? And, I know we've talked about that many times in the past, but for those of you that don't know, this Wild team to me and Seth is just a puzzle that simply doesn't fit.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious. I think the one silver lining for this is that every day that goes by, it becomes more and more obvious that Marco Rossi can play on this team today.
Yeah, no doubt about that. He can have any spot on this team because, and it's crazy that I'm saying this. I honestly think Victor Rask is the best option between Kirill Kaprizov and Kevin Fiala at this point. He looks the best out of all of them, in my opinion. I don't know what happened to Marcus Johansson. He looked good the first couple games, but I don't know if he needs more tape on his stick or what. But that dude cannot handle the puck to save his life.
Yeah, it's just becoming more and more evident every game that goes by that this team is going to have to, as currently constructed, they got to really have a lot of things go their way, especially offensively, in order to come away with wins. And that power play, forget it. Like I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you can even call that. You can't even call it a power play because power plays actually are supposed to work sometimes.
Yeah, well, I made the joke on Twitter, and I'm sure you saw it. Everyone's like, "Why the hell did the Kings just challenge that Eriksson Ek goal? It was clearly a goal." Well, it's because Todd McClellan and co. just wanted the Wild to go on a power play and kill another 2 minutes for him. Yeah, that classic Eddie Murphy gif. But it really is incredible that it doesn't work. But I will say, did we really expect anything more from this team this year coming in? I mean, we knew that we knew center depth was an issue, and I just don't really think we thought it could be this bad. But it's this bad. Like, Marco Rossi is a godsend at this point, and he can play every minute for them down the middle if he wants to. Probably whenever he's healthy.
Which hopefully is soon. The one piece of solace, I guess, from this is that Bill Guerin is watching, and as a former player, as an executive on teams that have had tremendous amounts of success, that even though this wasn't expected to be like a let's make a run type of season, this is eating at him pretty bad, I'm sure. And he's only going to be able to take so much of it, which is why as I was coming back home from work during the game, I texted you and I said, this is starting to look like a team that's going to look a lot younger by the time we get to the trade deadline.
And it's funny that you mentioned that because I was thinking sort of the same thing a line or even before the deadline though. Is he going to do something? But this, it's just quite evident that something isn't working here for the Wild. It's this never-ending struggle of what are the lines going to look like tonight. And if you have that issue every single night, it's never going to go well for you. The best case scenario, in my opinion, they suck. They get a good draft pick. Maybe a center falls to them, like Rossi did this past year. That's how you build, I think. But you got to look and almost see like. Let's see what we have an abundance of defensemen, right? Dumba's the one that would go out of the top 4.
Yep.
Spurgeon's the new captain, not going anywhere. Suter loves it here, not going anywhere. And Brodin just signed a new extension, and he's loved here. He's not going anywhere. Dumba is that piece that can get you that center. So maybe, Billy, and I'm sure he's exhausting these options right now. Does it get to a point before the trade deadline where they give in on the season, if it gets to that point, where he's like, okay, we're going to make this blockbuster deal during the season rather than like at the draft or something, because this team is pretty good. It's just not something that works.
If
that makes any sense at all.
Well, defensively, they're great.
Yeah, they're amazing.
But offensively, it's a hodgepodge.
They need like 2 solid right-handed centers.
Yeah.
That aren't named Nick Bugstad.
It's like these players are good, so theoretically they should work together, but
yeah, it's just
they really don't. So that sucked, but I don't know. Not much else we can do about it now. We will. I think we seem kind of measured. It's because we're saving the best material for the podcast tomorrow night. In which we will go off.
Don't want to snap yet.
I'm about ready to dive in and pull the Band-Aid off of this team, so to speak. So we'll do that on the MinnyIce podcast tomorrow night. Of course, coming still tonight, Jake's 3 stars coming tomorrow morning. MinnyIce minutes. I'll try to find some sort of bright, shiny silver lining from this. There are not a lot though. And then of course, report cards come in tomorrow as well. So MinnyIce, we got you locked down like the Wild defense in postgame. So, bummer tonight. Tomorrow's another day. See ya.